Hi all, welcome back to our Axis and Allies April 2020 gameplay. We pick up here on part 5 video, and this is going to be about late summer 1944. We're into round number 6 here, Japan's turn, so we'll go over what they're going to do here. So Japan is going to do a massive sub-attack here on the U.S. naval fleet in Dutch New Guinea. We'll see. We got the battleship Wisconsin and the carriers Enterprise and Hornet there. So we'll see if everyone's able to survive the battle here. And they're going to take their 2 fighters from Java and just attack that transport there in the Celebes. So from the results of this battle here, we see Japan, they do lose all their submarines, and the Allies just end up losing all their transports there. So the benefits of this is, under the rules that we're playing here with Hawaii only able to put out 2 units a turn here, Japan should easily be able to get their victory points here because there's no transports. The closest is Hawaii here that has transports to further land on any Japanese territories. So with them at 18 victory points, they should easily be able to get the 22 victory points with this rule modification here. The war is obviously going to not be won by the Japanese, so we'll play out the war here quickly just to show you how it ends here. So we end round number 6 with the British taking over Sumatra and the Chinese occupying Hong Kong, and the U.S. fleet here is in the Philippines here. We look here at the IPC chart. Japan's going to get their 22 victory points in the next round, but we'll go through and play out the end of the war here just because we got this far into the game. So Japan does get their 22 victory points here at the end of their turn in round number 7 by holding on to these Indonesian islands and the Philippines. We'll show you how Kamikazes work here. We'll continue on the game and show you how the end of the war pans out here. As we see Japan, they've been buying a bunch of fighters here to use for some Kamikaze attacks, and we'll explain that as we advance on the game here. We conclude round number 7 with the U.S. Navy being in the Japanese home waters here, and they're also building here more aircraft carriers. We'll call them the Essex and Independence class there, and we see the British here. They're on Sumatra there, poised to invade these other 2 Indonesian islands. And for Japan to surrender, they have to be down below 10 IPCs, and it's considered a Japanese surrender in this game. So I will go on to round number 8 here. So we will begin round number 8 with Japan's turn, and we'll go over how Kamikaze attacks work here. So Japan has 6 Kamikaze attacks total they can use in the game, and we'll have them use them in this round. They can only use them on fighters, so we'll use the 5 fighters they have in Japan and 1 on the Philippines, and they'll all go and attack the U.S. fleet here. So how it works is the fighters, they'll be automatically lost after this battle, and they roll out a 2 or less to attack in a Kamikaze attack, and they go specifically after specific naval units. So we'll have 3 of them go after the carrier Hornet and 2 go after the Enterprise. So if they roll a 2 or less, the carrier and the fighter planes are automatically destroyed. So here's the first one going after the Enterprise. So yes, they do destroy the Enterprise, and then the other 3 will go after the Hornet, and yes, they do get a hit there. So both the Enterprise and Hornet will be destroyed from Kamikaze attacks, and that's all the Kamikaze attacks Japan can make in this game now. So we have the British forces on their turn attacking Java and Borneo. So that'll take 7 IPCs away from Japan if they can win that battle, and that'll put them down to 9 IPCs. So that would be a Japanese surrender. In the book, it says here, prevent Japan from collecting any victory points on the Japanese player's turn. For this to occur, Japan's IPC income would need to be reduced to 9 or less for a Japanese surrender. So with the British taking back control of those 2 Indonesia islands and the U.S. taking control here of Okinawa and Iwo Jima. Japan is reduced down to 8 IPCs. They just control their mainland and the Philippines there. These convoys here negate the Korean and Shantung land territories because they're occupied by Allied naval vessels. So there we have the surrender there on the battleship Missouri there in Tokyo Bay. So we'll show you here what the final game board looks like. There as the Chinese forces there would go in there and the Japanese forces surrender their territory there. Look down here, go into the Indonesian islands here. So that puts us at the end of the game there. You see that's what the final conclusion looks like of the game board, and that's what the final chart there looks like, our IPC chart there. So this game ran a total of 8 rounds. Again, Japan was able to get 22 victory points, but then the Allies were able to force Japan to surrender afterwards there. And the only reason they got the 22 victory points was because we played here in Hawaii that only 2 units a turn, 2 game pieces a turn could be put through here. In the rule book, it says that you can put an unlimited number of pieces out of original industrial complexes, but if we play that way, there's pretty much no possible chance for Japan to achieve any type of victory in this game. It just ends up being a feel-good game for whoever is playing the Allies here. So, well, that wraps it up for this Axis and Allies Pacific game here in April 2020. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. And I'll just add on a conclusion to this video. I think for my next videos I'm going to look into purchasing Axis and Allies 1940 Pacific and Axis and Allies 1940 Europe and play those games one at a time. You can combine those games, but that'll be a lot to do. So I'll probably start off by doing one of those next. So stay tuned. That'll probably be in a few weeks, I would imagine. Again, thank you for watching.